Well, right now we are talking about a kind of loss that no child should ever have to face. In South Carolina, 1 in 9 children will experience the death of a parent or sibling before they turn 18. Now, that kind of grief can be overwhelming, and without the right support, it can shape how a child sees the world for the rest of their lives. But a program right here in the Midlands is working to make sure children don't have to navigate that pain alone. Prisma Health's Children's Hospital Midlands is offering the Healing Hearts Grief Program, helping young people process loss in a safe space. Now, alongside others who understand what they're going through, I'm joined by Annie Inslee, a certified child life specialist, and Christy Fink, manager of child life and special programs. Thank you guys so much for joining us. So first off, I kind of want to just dive right into this program. Kind of just tell me, what is it all about?
Healing Hearts is a program for kids that have lost a loved one. It can be any kind of loss, the loss of a parent, a loss of a friend, sibling, aunt, grandparent. And we provide like peer support, so kids come to our program and we separate them into different age groups based on their ages. And we just really offer them a safe space where they can come and process their grief. And do that in like a community group of like other peers their same age. So we focus on lots of different topics in our group. We focus on emotions, memories of their loved one. We talk about coping skills and how they can cope with these emotions. And then we also talk about like remembering their loved one's legacy. And so, yeah, we just really want to provide a space where kids can process their grief with peers, because we've seen such great results of them being able to process with their peers.
And that was going to be my next question. You know, a lot of times when we have children whose parents pass away, we think maybe, you know, within like the first week or so, if the entire family gathers around and, you know, rallies for the child. But after that, they're left on their own. They have to navigate through school. If they're working, they have to kind of work. From you guys' experience, what have you seen, like, how impactful can this program be for a child, you know, just coming up in society today?
I think you're right. They have a lot of support right when it happens, and then real life kicks back in and everybody goes back to work, routines change. Oftentimes kids who are experiencing loss, everything is uprooted. They might have to change schools, they have a new peer group, a new friend group, trying to find their way in a whole different city even sometimes. So what Healing Hearts does is provide an atmosphere where kids can relate to each other, because the commonality is the loss. And so you might go through your whole school day, and if you're at a new school, you don't know anyone else who is suffering the same kind of loss that you have. But if you come to Healing Hearts, you're there because you lost somebody, and so are the other 10 people in class with you. So they're all there because they lost someone. And like Annie said, it does not take the place of counseling. We just offer a different approach where we have the kids all together. They're there because they lost somebody, and we create the atmosphere and the environment. We do a lot of arts and crafts and activities, but we don't directly ask kids questions. We don't force them to open up. We let them have that time to do it organically and process it with peers that are also experiencing the same thing. And what we have found is the community that they build together is something beautiful. The kids want to come back, they want to stay together. We also have an adult component, so whoever is supporting these children who are grieving, they're also grieving, right? They also have a loss. And that is a special group that you really never think you're going to find yourself in, but you do. And then you come to Healing Hearts and you realize, okay, there are a lot of other families that look kind of like mine right now, and they figure out how to support each other, and the network that they have built is something just magical. And then they also want to stay together, so we're able to keep them together by doing reunion events, and we have a family camp every fall. So it's just helping create a community of commonality within loss.
Absolutely. And I'm not sure how long you guys have been doing this program, but when you see the results, obviously someone comes in at one of the lowest points of their lives, or children rather. When you see the results for you, how does that make you feel?
I think we get a lot out of the group too, because it's really rewarding to see a kid come in and the first night they don't want to talk. They're like mad about being there. Maybe they don't want to be there to talk about grief, because it's really hard and it's scary, and it takes a lot of bravery for these kids to step into this space. And so I think it's just like an honor that we get to like be a part of it, and it like touches our lives every single time to just like be a part of it with them, and to see them kind of like open up and talk more about their grief throughout the process of being there.
And to speak with children, I know you said this is not necessarily therapy, but for adults, when we go through something in life and we see a program like this, we make that choice that we want to go and do this. But you guys are speaking with children who their family may see that they need that extra push, that extra help. How, if it's difficult at all or easy, is it to work with the children who kind of just were pushed in here?
We don't really give them a choice, but we meet them where they are.
Right.
So I spoke with a grandmother yesterday, and they're coming to our program this Thursday, and she was like, he doesn't want to come. I was like, it's okay. If you can get him there, I'll keep him coming back. Get him to us, and we'll keep him coming back, because we're going to engage in a way that doesn't feel threatening. We're going to let them take their own time in becoming vulnerable and sharing their feelings and things like that. We try to make it as fun as possible while still, dealing with things that are very sensitive. So but they're children, and they process things in a different way. It doesn't have to be sad and serious all the time. It can be conversational. It can be hanging out, and we can still get to the place where, okay, now we're starting to process this. And what we have found also with our families and our children that come, as they age, their grief changes. So sometimes they come to us as a 6-year-old trying to process, and really that's such a difficult age, because you haven't even thought about death being permanent at that point. And so a couple of years later at 9 or 10, they're like, their grief is different. And so the family calls and it's like, okay, now we've got this going on. I'm like, bring them back. Let's process this as a 10-year-old. We processed it as a 6-year-old. Let's do it as a 10-year-old. And we've been really fortunate that we have had great community support and donor support, that this is no charge to our family. So it's always there for them when they need it. They are welcome to repeat multiple sessions, come as often as they feel like they need it. And when they make that phone call, we never say, sorry, we're full, we figure it out, because it takes, like Annie said, a lot of courage to make that call and to decide you're going to come and talk about grief.
And the feedback that you get from families, what is that like?
They wish it was longer.
Yeah,
they want the program to be longer. They don't want to stop coming, because once you find somewhere that you really feel like you fit in, it's almost like it's 4 sessions. So then by the 4th session, you're feeling really comfortable. These are your people. You're talking about things. You don't have to tell your story every week, every month, right? Because they already know, and they're helping you through it. And then it's like, okay, the session's over. And it's kind of like, well, we just started, but we do that so that we do have the capacity to help as many families in the Midlands as we can. So it is a 4-month cohort, and then we break, and then another 4 months. But we do have reunion events and keep everybody coming back together.
Absolutely. And in these sessions, do you ever see other children helping the other children? Maybe someone who is just coming in versus someone who has been for a while. Do you ever see them saying, well, this is how I approached it when I was sitting in your exact same shoes?
Yeah, I think we do. It's really cool to see them, because they've all experienced loss, but maybe in a different way. And so whenever we're talking about emotions, some of them will be like, oh my goodness, I felt that way. Or some difficult emotions of they might be like, oh my gosh, I experienced that. And so it's just cool to see them kind of be able to click and share those things with other people that they can't share with one of their best friends, because they haven't been through the same thing.
Absolutely. And I know you said that it's 4 sessions. And really quickly, if you can kind of explain what those 4 sessions are, what do they do each session?
Yeah. So we start off by feeding them. So we have dinner from 5:30 to 6, and then we break up into our different cohorts, or into our different age groups. And we start off with an icebreaker activity where we just start getting to know each other. And then we typically do about 3 activities where it's either a game that is talking about the grief, or a craft activity, or we have a music therapist who is a part of our group too, and so she'll do some music activities with some of the kids, which is always super fun. And so it's just kind of a mix-up of those activities. And then the first session, we typically talk about memories, and then we go on to talk about emotions and coping skills, and then remembering their loved one's legacy. So we do some, we have a graduation for them, and we put rocks in a rock garden, lots of different things to just keep it going.
Absolutely. And for folks watching this morning, or today rather, if they want to sign up for this program, how can they do that?
You can call me at the Children's Hospital. Do you want me to say that number?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's 803-434-5658, and I'll be glad to get your information, give you more information about the sessions, and get you guys registered. It's really just that easy, but it's not, right? Because you got to make the decision to
Right.
call. You got to make the decision to call. But once you call, I try to make it as painless as possible.
Gotcha. And are there any social media handles or emails that they can send as well?
Yes, Christine.fink@prismahealth.org. And also on our social media, Prisma Health, Children's Hospital Midlands social media, there's a link there.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for
Thank
stopping
you.
by.
Yes.
If you or someone you know has experienced a loss and you would like to take part in this free program,
Yes.
we're going to place a link on our website where you can get this entire interview, and you can get that number again and any other information that you need to start getting you on that road to recovery. Thank you. We'll be right back.